watching Mick Jagger. Hi, Catherine. Sorry you couldn't come. Hope you're doing okay.
Happy birthday to you.
Woo, 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 woo. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Pat. Happy birthday to you.
We love you.
Happy birthday. Mick Jagger's on TV.
I'm rolling.
Hi, Pat. Remember the Red Bloomers?
Happy birthday, Pat. I'm eating something.
Some happy birthday. I come to
Say best wishes.
He said happy birthday.
Oh, you said happy birthday.
Okay. So here we are at the Borkowski house.
That's Walter. That's Marcella. I'm Matthew.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Say hi, Pop.
Say hi.
hi.
Thank you.
Hello.
We're on Valium.
So, as long as I have all of you here on film, tell me about the first time you met my mom.
Oh, your dad brought her over, and he said, this is the girl I'm going to marry. He didn't give her name right away, but then after a while I got her name, and poor thing, she looked so frightened and so embarrassed. And I tried all my best to let her know, well, you're real welcome, but it was hard for her.
Tell me about going shopping and eating lunch at Higbee's.
Okay, because I knew Pat was already married to Paul, and I knew we were a family, and I knew that it would work out nicely. But I couldn't seem to get close to her. She looked frightened of me. So one day I called her and asked her about going to lunch, and she said, well, fine, where would we go? And I said, well, how about Higbee's at Palmertown? Which is what we did. She picked me up, we went to Higbee's, had lunch, and we were very, very courteous to one another. And I thought to myself, this is not working. We are just too polite. So we finally finished lunch, paid, and went back out into Palmertown in the mall. And I was thinking to myself, oh dear, how am I going to let this girl know I love her? And just then we passed Rosenblum's store, and they had outdoor bloomers for ladies, which is an old-fashioned thing, and they had them in black satin. And I looked at them and I said to Pat, oh, Pat, look at the knickers. Are you going to get a pair? And she looked at me as if I'd lost my mind. And she says, well, I don't know, are you? And I said, yeah, I'm going to get a pair, but they're going to be red. And she looked and she saw I was trying to make a joke, and she grabbed me, hugged me, and there we stood in Palmertown Hall crying and hugging each other like mad. And that's the day Pat knew I loved her.
Aww. Now, it's my understanding that you guys hosted the baby shower.
Yes.
Yes.
We had the baby shower when you were expected, and we had a lovely time. And Shush made what was the name of that, Shush? What was the name of that drink you made?
Sangria?
Sangria, because we just came home from Spain, and that's a popular drink there. Well, we had a bottle of wine, which just part of the thing with sangria. But the people liked it so well, we finally ran out of wine, and we tried this and we tried that. And finally, Matt put in an unknown substance, and nobody ever knew the difference, and everybody enjoyed it very much. The only thing is, sangria is tricky. When they started to stand up, their legs didn't want to hold them, and some of them had to sit there for a little while.
Ah ha ha ha. How about that Easter, where Papa ate so many egg yolks?
Oh, yes. Well, we had guests for Easter, and the children wanted to peel the eggs, but they couldn't eat all they peeled, and there were 8 eggs left over, and so Papa didn't want to see them go to waste. He ate all 8 of them. Well, that's quite a bit, and his stomach rebelled, so he went in the bathroom and threw up. And I went in to kind of hold his hand and hold his head, and when I thought he was finished, I flushed the toilet down, and he looked up at me very sadly and said, "You just flushed my false teeth down the toilet."
And one last thing before I go. Tell me what your happiest memory of my mom is, or, you know, just something really special. Something that makes you proud of her.
It breaks my heart to tell, but I will say this, that when her worst troubles hit her, she didn't think of herself first. She thought of her little boy. She never deserted him. She held him closely. She tried to be so cheerful. She took him a lot of nice places, did a lot of nice things with him. Never, ever will I forget that. I honor her for that. I love you, Pat.
Happy birthday. You're in the other room and you have no idea what is going on in the other room. Happy birthday from me and Dave.
Love you.
Lots of hugs. P.S.
Yes.
We're moving in together. Happy birthday.
Auntie.
You've had a wonderful life, you have a wonderful son, and a wonderful family, and we all wish you a very happy birthday and enjoy the rest of your life and live fully like the rest of us and grow old and be happy.
Amen. Hi, B. What you doing?
Oh, I'm looking at some pictures over here of your mom. All right. Start all over again. Okay. Hello, Pat. This is your birthday. Actually, it's your 50th birthday, and it was really a very interesting 50 years. And hopefully, the next 50 will go a lot better, so we can do a lot of interesting things.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
I love you.
Love you.
Okay, B. When you were a youngster,
Yeah,
how old were you when you went to that dude ranch?
Oh, I had to be in my 20s.
Okay.
And then that's, I was at the Dude Ranch up in Lake George.
Mm-hmm.
And then, which is along the Hudson River. And then what we did while we were over there, we was getting a beautiful tan. So I had my name taped on my back, Agnes, and then I got suntan. Then when I come home, took a picture of that. And by the way, that was during the war. Went to New York City and I saw Times Square with no lights. Everything was black because that's how the government wanted it. So from there, we was at the ranch for, it was a week, and then we were to spend about 2 or 3 days. And believe it or not, at South Central Park then. We went all through it, like that. Then we came home. We came home on a train.
Cool. So,
Oh, actually I went twice.
tell the good people where you went twice.
Los Angeles, to see my brother Jim. It was really nice. It was a nice train ride. And then that's when coming home, that's when I saw the outskirts of the Grand Canyon, and I was so intrigued with that. Plus the fact Uncle Jim did send me a picture of when I was a teenager. He sent me a whole bunch of pictures of the West like that, the photos, and they were so nice. Among them, there was one of the Grand Canyon. And then another thing though too, we stopped off in, I think it was Utah. And then we kind of got off the train and looked around. But when you're on the train though, you just enjoy all the scenery, like that. Then we got to Chicago. In Chicago we changed trains to come home to Cleveland. That's it.
Okay. So twice on the Continental Railroad.
Not the Continental.
No.
I forget what train it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What else? How did you meet my mom's dad, my grandpa, Ernest Wargo?
Well, he worked at Jack and Hines the same way I did. And then I needed a ride home, so Uncle Barney made arrangements for me to come home with him. And then one day he asked me to go to a dance, and so that we're always going. That's it.
You remember the day he asked you to marry him?
Yep, it was February the 9th. Let's see, it'd be 1952. Yeah.
Details. How did he do it? Did he get down on one knee?
Oh,
Were
no,
you washing your hair?
No, nothing interesting, really.
No?
No.
Were you two going to go out for a nice dinner?
Yeah, we went out for an evening, and then before take me home, that's when he asked me, to marry.
And did you say, I'll think about it?
No, I said yes.
And what do you remember of your wedding day?
Oh, it was so tiring. It was really very nice. The best thing I can remember is my cousin Gary. I'm not cousin Gary. What would he be? He's my godson.
Okay.
And then, but what I remember most about, he gave me, we even have a picture of it. He gave me such a big hug that I had to hold my balance so I wouldn't fall over. Yeah. He's my nephew.
He's your nephew.
Yes, well, yeah.
And your godson.
And my godson.
And, well, Uncle Ernie's my mom's older brother. What do you remember of Uncle Ernie? When he was a little kid.
Oh, he's.
You remember the day he was born?
Oh, sure.
Yeah? Let's start there. It's kind of the beginning.
Yeah. One thing, he kept me up all night. Actually, though, too, I was so angry at his father because we're washing clothes, and he kept talking to the neighbor. and then there wasn't getting the laundry done. So finally we get it all done, and then here I had all sprinkled and everything right to iron. I thought I'd iron the next day. Well, it come to be that I had to go, so Grandma Wargo took the my ironing home and did it for me. But then at the same time, he kept me up all night.
Mhm.
And then it was about 3 o'clock in the morning is when they get the things start changing. So with that, but then he was born, let's see, around a little after 8 in the morning. He was a live little rascal. He really was. He started walking when he was 10 months and 3 days old. But he didn't walk, he started running. And he was a busy little guy. He was a cute little fellow.
Was he a climber?
Oh yeah, he get into
Yeah.
everything. He was busy. He always did something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And how did he get the nickname Skip?
Oh, his father.
Yeah?
Because one of his friend nicknamed his child, so he had to give him that name. Yeah.
All right.
But he always was busy, a busy little guy.
Mm-hmm. What was one of the...
You know, the best thing really about the whole thing, the Wargo name, they really knew their Marymount, because if Pat and Ernie wasn't going in there, and Jean's boys were going there, so we're well known there. Well, some Wargo person was there all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Well, tell me about my mom.
Your mom.
My mom. Let's do like Uncle Ernie.
Mhm.
Tell me straight from the beginning.
Yeah, she was pretty good. She was a nice little girl. The neighbors didn't even know that there was a baby in the house because she was so quiet, like that.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, when she's a little girl, this one time, she's at the front yard. It was a rainy day. She had to be walking a puddle. The neighbor tried to get her out of the water, but they couldn't, so they had to give me. Yeah, so, and then of course though too, she was great for wandering off, and
Is that, are you saying she takes after you?
yeah.
Do you remember being in Tennessee? We're taking a tour of Mammoth Cave, and I told the tour guide, you gotta watch my grandma, she wanders.
Yeah, so, but anyway.
Okay, now here's an interesting question. Is my mom or Uncle Ernie named after anybody in the family?
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
Not at all?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Wait a minute, you're,
Uncle Ernie,
yeah.
Ernest James Wargo.
Yeah. Yes, he's named after, come to think, Ernie is named after, just the first name.
Mhm.
The father didn't want the middle name, so
Right.
we made him James. And that's really after
Mhm.
Uncle Jim, really, because, like that.
Mhm.
But Pat, her middle name was Ann, but after Grandma, she almost was Barbara. But then I decided, I thought that Patty Ann sounded better than Patricia Barbara, like that.
Yeah. I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Now, tell me about my mom in school. I seem to recall that she was always well behaved.
Yes, the teacher always put her in the middle of the talkers because she knew that she wouldn't talk. She was really very good in school,
Mm-hmm.
like that. And another thing though too, when they were selling stuff at school, you know,
Mhm.
in the Catholic school. You know, she was great for bringing stuff home. And she almost had me washing the, she one time in kindergarten she brought home, she volunteered me to wash all the doll clothes.
Oh.
She almost had me doing the for the church,
Mhm.
you know, the white stuff.
Right.
There. She almost had me doing that, but the teacher told her to check with me first.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah, my mom would do it. It was a big thing. They like to go bumming with Uncle Jim, and Ernie and Pat both. You know, they took turns. You know, like that. And then this one time, she went bumming, and here she let the dog out. You know, like that. And then, and they didn't think it would happen. You know, like that. So. Yeah, but
Yep.
but they took turns, you
Mhm.
know, like that.
When they went bumming, where would they go?
Wherever Uncle Jim went.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll visit friends and places like that.
That's
or
good.
if he had some errands to run,
Mhm.
he had somebody in the car.
You used to waitress someplace so that you didn't have to work during the summer.
You know, I never worked this summer.
Right. Even though the guy tried to pay you doubles to show up. What was the name of that restaurant?
Oh, that was Tritt's Coffee Shop. That was good, because I had to answer the phone so I could keep in touch with them. That was a good job.
Now, how old was my mom when the two of you went halfway around the country to
Wyoming.
Wyoming?
That was just before graduation, the summer before she graduated. We only had, we were so busy, we only had 10 days
Mm-hmm.
that we could work in,
Right.
you know, like that. And she did, she drove in the mud, she's a good mountain driver. And I was good on the flat surface, so it worked out real good.
Great.
And she played in the snow up in Yellowstone.
Okay.
You have a picture of her in sleeveless, you know, in shorts.
Mm-hmm.
It was cold up there.
What was another one? Didn't you guys see a big bear in the road?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We saw that bear. We couldn't get back in the car fast enough. Yeah.
Was that the same trip where you went to Vegas?
No,
No, different trip?
I never was in Vegas.
No?
Now, I was supposed to go to Vegas when I was coming home from California, but I slept through it.
Hmm.
You know, like that.
C'est la vie.
Just as well.
Okay. Fast forward many, many years. My mom's about 24, I think. She had just gone out on her first date with the man that would be my father. What did she say when she came home?
You know, I don't remember.
Well, I'll remember for you. I'll remember for you. You said something like, "Oh, did you have fun?" My mom candidly said, "Oh yes, I'm going to marry this man."
Yeah, that was.
And she had cold feet. And she crawled into bed with you and tried to stick those cold feet on you. I remember the story very well. I've heard it a dozen times or so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember her wedding day?
Oh yes, it's a wonder I had to drive all the way out to you because the one I didn't get a ticket because they're doing 70 miles an hour. Yeah, just everything happened so fast.
Was it a good day? Was the weather nice?
Yeah, it was nice. Everything was.
and I don't know, somewhere around October 21st, 1982. You remember what you were doing that day?
Oh, I can remember that. That's, your mom called and everything, you know, to go to, for you to go to the hospital. But Ann came with me because she knew the road better in that area because her daughter used to live around there. So she and I went over there to see her. But that you came so fast, you know, like that. It was, and then it was really nice. It was nice to hold you.
Oh,
Really
you're
was.
sweet. Okay, well, I think that's enough for one night.
Yeah.
All right. Night. Say good night.
Good night. It was, at that time, it was the Southgate or Grace Drugstore. We come over there and we sit down to, you know, to eat, you know, like that. And then, and she, you know, she asked the lady for a straw, you know, and the lady just looked at her, that she would know what, you know, what to do. Okay, that's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the moral of that story is my mom was a very intelligent toddler, and Grandma is very proud.